Hello and welcome back to another Forbes's Gunner Show. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Going to be talking about the Dundalk fixture, a couple of the combinations I saw, and I'm just going to try and be positive as much as I can. And while the Europa League fixture probably can't be a true reflection of what could happen in the Premier League, I still want to talk about it, and I do want to talk about the big game on the weekend against Burnley, which most of us would consider a must win, but probably most of us feeling a little bit less confident. I predicted that Mikel Arteta would play a 4-1-3-1 formation. I thought that would be working much better, heading more towards leaving more the five at the back in the Europa League game. However, he chose not to do that. He started Mustafi in the middle of three centre backs alongside Mari and Chambers, who I predicted would start, by the way. And they played really, really well. I don't even think Mustafi did anything, to be honest. He could have been off the pitch. And I have to put a personal comment in here because it actually grates my cheese, to put it politely, that Mustafi, who wants to leave the club, starts and wears the captain's armband. For me, that's a no-go. And I draw a line in the sand there. You know, if you're not going to want to be part of the team, then your chances of being captain should be far, far less. Do you agree or not agree? Leave your comment down below about what you think about Mustafi captaining the team when he doesn't even want to be in the team. And for me, this is an opportunity to give another person the potential to captain the side, test them out, see where their loyalties lie, can they handle the pressure, etc., etc. Basically, what I saw in terms of the formation was that five at the back, who I've just mentioned before, and the wing back is in Cedric, the wing back on the left. Cedric, the wing backer on the right, and Maitland-Niles, the wing backer on the left. And if you'll see my rant about Maitland-Niles playing in the back five, you can see it in the previous video up here. It includes my prediction for the Dundalk fixture. But if I was Maitland-Niles, I would be raging. Played so well in central midfielder position in the previous Europa League fixture, and even tonight, it was yesterday evening, in the Dundalk fixture, he played really well left back. He gives us all. He's absolutely fantastic. I would really have given him a 7 or an 8 as a player rating. I think he combines really, really, really well with Smith Rowe, who I will talk about a bit later, who is also exceptional. But, I mean, when is Arteta going to actually give him a proper run in the midfield? I think that there's an opportunity there. I think we have enough defenders in the squad to cover that left back position. I think he is such a good player. He needs to be developed in the midfield. I would be playing him in that central midfield role alongside El Nani. In this fixture in particular, I would have loved to see that and bring on Kolasinac on the left wing back position. I mean, why play Maitland-Niles? We play him 1 week in the central midfield position, the next week at a left back position. The week before that, I think he played on the right. I think he played on the left as well. But it's just this back and forth all the time, which I think can have such a negative potential for the player. And I really hope that Arteta looks to be bringing him into the midfield into the future, because he's a promising candidate, and he's still so young. By comparison, on the right-hand side, there was almost zero combination play or any linking whatsoever with Pepe and Cedric. I thought Pepe had a poor game, if I'm honest. I think he did okay. He did put a nice pass off to Balogun and get an assist. I'll give him that. And it was quite a well-timed pass. But other than that, I mean, in the second half, Cedric was just sort of bypassing him and just going in and putting in some amazing crosses, which Cedric is really good at, by the way. He was putting in some amazing crosses. And if we had someone like at the end of it, it would be really great, because it would actually be giving Cedric assists left, right, and centre. But it's that combination play which is so important, and it was so evident between Smith Rowe and Maitland-Niles, who were just interlocking. And this leads me into the brilliance of Smith Rowe. He was looking confident on the ball, showing skill, showing initiative. He was putting the shoulder down, beating players, running off, and I just thought Maitland-Niles had so much freedom to move into space, to give him a 1-2 pass. But Cedric, gets space in front of him, runs into the space, absolutely fine. But Pepe doesn't move. He just sticks on the sideline. If you can see, surely, that that Cedric is running down the line, pull in, make a diagonal run, make a run over and see if you can get in behind, because Cedric will put the ball through. But a pass just to a stationary player. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Another really good thing about the young players, particularly, is that they seem to care more. They lose the ball and they want to win it back. If you look at, I don't want to hop on about Pepe, but Pepe, I think, had an extremely poor game. He loses the ball and then kind of gives up trying to get it back. Why? Fight for it back, get a foul. I don't care what it is, but if you lose the ball, there's always a potential, particularly if you're on a counter attack, to lose the ball in a vulnerable position, and you should be doing anything to get that ball back. And I just didn't see that. And it was so nice to see Smith Rowe, to see Willock, to see Maitland-Niles, to see Chambers, Cedric. These guys, they work so hard to try to keep the ball. And if they do lose the ball, then they're looking to get it back again immediately. There's no hesitation like, oh, okay. And for me, Pepe, I've got nothing against you personally, my man, but come on, step it up. And I think Mikel should be getting that message to him and saying, listen, this is your chance to get as much confidence as you can in the Europa League. We need you back in the Premier League side as soon as you can be. And we want you to be ready. We want you to be fighting for your place. Because at the moment, if I'm honest, I would play Nelson ahead of Pepe. All day. Willian can forget on the bench. Go and help coach the academy side. And that's nothing personal against you either, Willian. But I can't see a fight. And again, that combination play was just poor. The combination between Tierney, which I mentioned before in the previous video, the combination play between Tierney and Willian was poor. What was really fantastic and what we can learn so much from is that Maitland-Niles and Smith Rowe combinations was just working really, really well. It was also really fun to see a couple of debutants in Aziz and Cottrell. I think that they look like really promising prospects, and I hope that now that we are probably through to, we are through in terms of the Europa League fixtures, we're not probably going to be seeing too much of them, but it was awesome to see you guys, and I think as from fans we can say that was really cool to see you guys come on, and you all look really, really good, and we can't wait to see you in the future. I have to also hand it to Dundalk. I think they deserved both of their goals they scored. They are on the precipice of losing, or they are on a precipice rather, and they will be losing 14 of their players who are coming out of contract next year. Last night was their final game of the season, and what a crazy year it is going to be for football and economies around the world due to the pandemic. We wish them all the best, and they deserved their both goals. What was concerning for Arsenal was that they were able to score 2 good goals. And people have been pointing the finger at Ronaldsson, and what? Ronaldsson takes 10, the ball has to get through 10 players before it gets to Ronaldsson. And then the header goal from the free kick was completely fluke. I mean, he hit it off the back of the head, off the shoulder. If he had actually done it what would have been proper, as in just header it like that, Ronaldsson was going the right way but was wrong-footed because of the fact that he hits it off the back of his head on purpose. Only Virgil van Dijk can do that shit. No offense to Flores. Oh no, was it Flores or Hora? Hora, I think, scored the goal. But that's not Ronaldsson's fault. And the first goal by Flores from Dundalk, if you look at that, where's Mustafi? That's Mustafi's man. Look at this. I'm going to try to get a little recording here of it here.
Pushes it in field,
and you can see how poor Mustafi is, completely out of position, doesn't react, doesn't close him down. You got to remember, Mustafi, German World Cup winner. squad member and or slash player. And this shit's happening against Dundalk. Honestly, I don't know how Mustafi can start and put the armband on. He is poor. And even during the game, honestly, if you took him out, yeah, okay, he acted a bit of a pivot. I think he put 2 long ball crosses to Cedric, which were good, but that was it. Like, in terms of defending, nothing that Chambers and Mari couldn't handle themselves, if I'm honest. So for me, and I've said that way back in I think one of my first videos, Mustafi is dead to me. When you say you're going to leave a club, and I think it's poor form by Mikel. I personally, on a personal level, I think Mikel is the right man for the job, and I enjoy the way he coaches. I think he does need time, but decisions like that to make Mustafi the captain, it defeats me. And to play Maitland-Niles as a left back, anyway. So I'm hoping that we can move on and be positive about the Burnley fixture. I'm really, really, really want to see combinations. I did speak more in depth. You can see the link here about the combination play that I'd like to see against Burnley. And the key point, we need to score early. We need to score early. We saw it in the Dundalk fixture now with Eddie, who worked so hard and closed down the central defender, broke down the play and scored a little snippy goal within the first 11 minutes. It just sets a precedence for the rest of the game. We're there to play, we're there to score goals, and that's what Arsenal is all about. And we've been struggling for form. I get that, but if we can get an early goal, I'm confident that we can win against Burnley. We should win against Burnley. As I've also mentioned previously, we need about 50 points on average to at least get the top 6 position. And if we're going to get those 50 points, we're going to need to win games against Burnley, particularly if they're coming off a 5-0 defeat at Man City. But that could have the reverse effect of actually making them more hungry for a win. So I look forward to seeing that fixture. I will do a post-match analysis then, and if you're keen, I do a Reddit link. Go and check it out there, Forbes's Gunners. You can go check out that subreddit. I'll put a link in the description below, and if you're keen to see any more of that, I'll put all the information on that subreddit, so you can go ahead and check that out. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and thank you again for joining me.